Figured I'll do a video since I'm home alone at the moment. Um, what do you want, cat? But yeah, lots of stuff going on. Still trying to clean up. I made a mess in here again. I said I would never stack anything up over here, but that all got messed up when the freeze came through, and I just still haven't cleaned it all up. But we're working on it, and so lots to cover. Been focusing a little more on veggies this year, just because times are tough and you can't have enough veggies. So tons of peppers growing down there, various types of jalapeno peppers and super hots and whatnot. And then I've also got, and I'll show the rest of it out in the yard, but doing some like patty pan squash, and there's some Seminole pumpkin out there. Just a bunch of good stuff. But stay focused on the fruit trees for a bit. Babysitting plants for my mom since she's out of the country. Hopefully she's going to take them back because I need to clean up out here. But we got the Dasyblast X Zill's Dark Suriname cherry seeds from Year One Organics, and they're starting to pop up. I also have some grafts, and they haven't had much action yet, but they also haven't rotted away, and it's been a couple weeks at least. So I think at the very least there's a good chance that the grafts will take. So I've got two. I moved them into that pot there, and over on this side, on the tree out there, we've got a couple of grafts. So trying to make use of what material we had, and yeah. So what else is going on? These Eugenia CDQs, they're growing like crazy. I've got like three of them over here. There's another one over there somewhere. But this is like a piriformis type. And so far, piriformis is basically just like a less intense Patanga tuba, which I think is a good thing. There's a lot of potential there. We'll see how the piriformis comes out, but supposedly CDQ is a pretty good fruit. Seems to be a bigger tree. So they're not too fussy. Like there's no tip burn on it. Oh, there's a little bit there. But I did start using the filter on the hose for stuffing the lanai, and it seems to be doing a good job. But anyway, so yeah, just a bunch of Pliny and Eugenia seedlings over here they're a little bit in the struggle bus phase, so I'm trying to keep them out of the light. There's some Plinia Ariana lemongrass down there. There's some other random ones that I'm not going to go through every single one because we'll be doing this forever. But yeah, so those little Plinia seedlings are coming up. The Sauber seeds, you can see they're all starting to pop in. You can't see every one of them on the camera, but I'm pretty sure we're going to have close to 100% germination. I got the seeds from a local seller, so they were pretty fresh. I think it was a Chitta domestica on the form. Pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. But more of the Saubers down here. And up here, the Grimmel seedlings are starting to pop out as well. So those, I got about like 15 Grimmel seeds. Over here, those Myrcianthus Tenella, or Myrcieria Tenellas, that they still haven't germinated, but the seeds are still good looking, so I'm just holding out hope. There's some Eugenias down here, which I think are finally starting to pop out. Yeah, look at that. These are the Eugenia macrosperma. I've got high hopes for those. They're supposed to be a really ornamental Eugenia. The fruit is supposed to be okay, but as much as I like eating fruit, one thing I've been looking for in some of these plants is not so much how good they are, but how good do they look, and also do they give fruit that's worth eating. A lot of the Eugenias, like, they're really just not worth eating. Like, as much as I gave praise for the piriformis, like, I don't think I would go out of my way and like plant like an orchard of piriformis fruit, right? It's a fun little plant to have. It's a beautiful tree, but You know, if I was restricted and all I could grow was things that looked ornamental and made fruit, that would be one I would want to put in the yard. Definitely over, I don't know, like Patanga tuba works as well, but like I kind of like Piriformis better than Patanga tuba. But anyways, just kind of rambling. So I'm trying to find the perfect balance between pretty tree and taste good, and you can get away with it in an HOA. Jaboticabas are definitely one of those. So yeah, that's why we got all the different varieties, trying to find the ones that do well and look good, don't cause any trouble. The Scarlet's a pretty good one. We got some fruit popping in on there. So like the Scarlet's popping off, the Red's starting to flower again. There's a couple of runty fruits that I'll let dry up on it. Ooh, this grafted, or not grafted, air layered pink guava from the front yard. Doing pretty dang good. I just potted it up. Can't complain about that. I'm glad I did, even though it survived the freeze up front. I might get fruit off of the air layer and not the one out front for a bit. Yeah, this red question mark Jabo producing some flowers and fruit all over. The ants are working on it. Let's see. But yeah, mainly just organizing everything. Oh yeah, this wax jambu is flowering and whatnot. There's also an air layer. Or no, I took a cutting off of that one. And here's some more of the Sabras down here. They're all popping off. Anything special? There's the giant mulchies over here. So that's a giant mulchi. Whew, focus. Giant mulchi. The bigger ones are a giant mulchi. There's another CDQ. There's a couple of Villelas in there. I'm just looking. Anything super special? Oh yeah, I did let one of my Villelas dry out. Where did it go? It's right here. Look at this. It was like just in the right spot, not to get hit by any of the water that I was spraying every day. I think this is the Casca Grossa. And so it looks like it's dead, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna come back. So I've dried out. The trick is to catch them like before they get too bad. So like if you catch them like that, it'll come back. But don't let it be like that and not be watered for like multiple days. If you catch it right as it's turning that way, they usually sprout back. They might die back a little bit, but yeah, my bad on that. Yeah, I've been potting things up, trying to organize. I know. Let me. Here's the. What is this? This is the Psidium cauliflorum. So it's the guava that is caulifloris, has the fruit on the trunk. Seems to do pretty good. So far, it's about as hardy as any of the other smaller fruited guavas. It definitely looks different. Looks more like a Jabo to me. But I've got one out in the yard that's not doing too hot with the heat, no pun intended. But it's been pretty dry, and I mean, it's not necessarily the heat. It's just drying out. Like that's the problem. So what we got going on over here? They've got these Anthropophagas that need to be potted up. This one here is like flowering constantly. I don't know if it's because it's in this pot and it's root bound and it's just trying to do stuff or what, but I'm hoping that I can get a fruit to set, and then once it sets a fruit and I get to try it out, and I'm sure it's just going to taste like a Patanga tuba, then I'll pot it up and let it grow a little bit more. And yeah, let's see. I think what are some new additions? Potted up this calamansi. I got some new citrus, and I know one of the citrus I got earlier in the year was a marathon mandarin, and let's see it right here. This guy, and it's getting hit by some leaf miner right now. That's why the leaves are like that. So I know one thing. If you look up the symptoms of citrus greening, it says like, oh, if you have non-uniform yellowing, that means you have citrus green, which isn't necessarily true, because I found you can have these guys mining away on the underside of the leaf, and it makes it look like it has citrus greening. It could also be spider mite damage that make them look like that. So yeah, pay a little bit more close attention. It's probably just leaf miter damage for the most part, which doesn't really affect the tree at all, but it definitely makes it not look as good. But what else? We got the what is this one? The other citrus greening resistant one, Sugar Bell. So both Marathon and Sugar Bell are greening resistant. They're not immune to it, but they can produce fruit and, you know, successfully produce fruit for a long time. Even if they are infected, and they might even be able to come out of it. I'm not sure about that. But so the plan is to keep them in the lanai. You know, so far I haven't seen any of the psyllids on citrus in the lanai. Well, that's not true. When I first had the yuzu, it had psyllids on it, but I also didn't have this cage built right away. And when the cage was built, I noticed that it had psyllids on it. So I moved it out there, planted it in the ground and crossed my fingers. And it doesn't seem to have greening. I thought it did for a bit because it was kind of struggling, but now it's established. It doesn't have any like greening on its, any of the green signs of greening on its leaves. So pretty lucky with that. But yeah, so we got these guys. These are going to stay in the lanai. And I also picked up this fig here. This is a, shoot. Oh, okay, good. I have the tag on it. The, was it Violet de Bordeaux fig? Supposed to be like a berry flavored fig. One of the better tasting ones. This one's just going to stay in a pot forever. And I'll try and propagate it and share over time, but we'll see if we can keep it alive. So far I've been pretty good at keeping the celestial fig alive in a pot, and I moved those out front because I have space out front in my driveway to put plants now. So I'm thinking like anything that's like more ornamental can go out there, as long as it's not a citrus. I would like to put citrus in the driveway, but I'm deciding to keep them in here now. Let's see what else. I know these jabos here are starting to get probably close enough to flowering. These are about 3-year-old reds from my bigger tree. This one, if I had to guess, is going to be the first one to produce fruit. I think what else? Other new additions, and I already did the video on these. These are we got ice cream mango and a was it Cogs Hall? Yeah, Cogs Hall. This is the Cogs Hall. This is the ice cream. Dwarf mangoes. Idea is they're going to stay in pots forever, or until I can't keep them in pots anymore. They are dwarfing varieties. You know, after that freeze, you know, it was just a lot of work keeping these bigger trees unfrozen. And I'll probably just, you know, let them go next time. I don't really want to, but that was just too much work. Like, I cannot do that every time. Hopefully they'll be big enough and the I don't know, what do you call it, like the circumference diameter of the tree, that they'll be able to take a cold like that. But hopefully we don't get another one for 30 years. But let's move out into the yard before I keep rambling on the inside. Talking about veggies, we got some salad trees. They're hibiscus relatives. You can just eat the leaves. So trick on these is to keep them, you know, in little shady spots. They don't like super intense sun. They don't like drying out. So they're not like okra where you can just throw them in the middle of a field, which I am growing a bunch of okra. Actually, let's show you this salad tree over here, which this is what happens when they get in the sun, which, I mean, it's pretty normal. It'll come out of that. But, yeah, like it's obviously not as happy with the direct sun on it compared to the other one. And this one's not getting direct sun because it's protected by 2 layers of screen before the light hits it. So it's a lot cooler over here. And like, it actually feels nice right here. It does not feel nice over there. But let's see, what else is new? It rained really hard yesterday. We have a pond out front that was like dried down to the, like almost completely dry, and then it filled back up just in one rain. So that was really nice to see. The ducks are happy about it. But this star fruit, like, it was a root from a plant I had a pot that grew up from the roots. So you can propagate star fruit from the roots. It's kind of cool. Doing all right. I might have to remove these though. They're just a little too close to the house, but I'll see how I feel about it over time. It's not hard to remove them when they're small, but it does provide some protection to this cacao tree, which is pushing out a bunch of really nice growth. Look at that. It's doing really good. I'm excited to see it kind of like come up over the top over here. I will be covering this whenever we get some cold, so I'll probably be building a structure here in the winter time that I can easily cover this thing up. But look at this. Look at it going. Lots and lots of flowers. I've had it for almost a year now, I would say, coming up on that. And it's been flowering since I've had it, but I haven't yet had a fruit set. So it's trying to figure itself out. Oh, looks like I'm pretty sure this is a cowpea that I dropped over here on accident. So that's another thing, like the veggies I've been growing. A bunch of cowpeas, bunch of okra. We got the Seminole pumpkin there. And let me show over on this side. And actually here we got 2 mangoes still on the orange sherbet, so our protection paid off. The tree actually looks pretty good. So once these fruits ripen up and we harvest them, and the summer rains kick in, I'm pretty sure this thing's going to be as green as ever. Hopefully it'll look like this guy, which, if you remember, I totally ruined it by splitting it, and then it got frozen afterwards. But it looks great now. I kind of like the shape of it. We'll probably come in. This is the Valencia Pride. Probably come in and take this branch out here, just because I don't want it growing up the center, just to get some better airflow in there. But I might even just take that and graft it. And I've got a seedling Valencia Pride in there. Maybe I'll just do Valencia Pride on Valencia Pride. Who knows? Yeah, that's doing good. The Achacha is still being lanky and weird. It looks like crap. I mean, it looks okay, but I'm not really sure what's going on. Like, it gets some tip burn, and then like some of the leaves look good. I know a lot of it is like it gets dry, and then the sun is intense. The Garcinias, they don't really like a whole lot of sun until they're pretty well established, and even when they're established, they'll kind of look like trash. But hey, if it looks like this and starts producing good fruit, I'm not too worried about how it looks. But here's hoping this year, once it starts raining, it'll flush out really good. This thing's been through a lot. It's seen a hurricane, a record freeze. It was literally knocked over from the hurricane, if y'all remember. But yeah, but it's still chugging along. So we'll do what we can to protect it. This is one of the trees that I'm going to always try to protect as much as possible. Here's the yuzu for reference. We got, I think I counted like 12 or 13 fruits on it this year. It's getting better and better every year. And see, here's the what people might think is greening, but I bet you if I flip the leaf over, we got a leaf miner. So tree's looking pretty good. I think I'm gonna come in here and prune off the tips on these thorns too, just to protect my eyes when I get in there. But yeah, I might hit it with some fertilizer, get this grass up, and so on. But here's the lemon zest. I'm gonna prune back some of this dead growth at the top. But it didn't get hit too bad, huh? Not too bad. Let's see. Oh yeah, we're looking at vegetables. So we got cowpeas over here. Cowpeas and okra. And the Barbados cherry is like slowly dying back over time. And I'm not sure if it's because it's dry or if it's because there's something going on from the freeze, but I was trying to prune it back up as like a tree shape, or a topia or whatever you want to call it, but I think it's going to have to be a bush for a bit until this thing figures itself out. If not, we might just lose the tree, which I don't want to do. They're not hard to get your hands on. They're not expensive, but I mean, it was a big tree and it made a lot of fruit. So yeah, let's see. My lemon seedling over here is doing pretty good. I'm not seeing any flowers on it. Probably got a couple more years before we get flowers. It's about 3 years old from a seed, I would say. So here's the Suriname cherry grafts. They're not really doing anything exciting. I did have one Suriname cherry, and the birds found it. Wasn't even ripe yet. Let's see, persimmons are coming in. Let's look over here. I'm just randomly going around them. Yeah, I also did a video on, or I don't remember if it was a video or not, but I took the red finger lime out here just because it was not, I don't know, there's something wrong with its roots, and it was like tipping over, and it kept hitting the window. My bedroom's right there, and so like you get a little gust of wind and it goes streak, streak, and I was getting annoyed with it, so I took it out. It's in a pot out front, I'll show that. But it's not looking super hot, so I'm hoping it recovers. I'm planning on just keeping it in the pot so I can move it around, but yeah, but I threw some okra and some beans down here just in the meantime, so that it makes the soil hold together a little better, and it'll keep some nitrogen in there. Let's see, my big Sabra over here peeled back really well. There's some ants farming something on here. What are they doing? There's like a little bridge. I don't see any flowers on it still. It looks like it wants to flower, but I just don't see anything that's certainly a flower. But it's old enough to flower. But I know it can take a while sometimes. But I mean, the tree looks great, especially after that rain. It's about 6 foot tall. And as wide, I would say maybe 4.5 feet wide, 5 feet wide. So let's see, fire round. Lulo reseeded itself after the freeze. This little pineapple's probably going to get eaten by a raccoon. This white sapote coming along real nice. That's the Campbell. This tree, I'm pretty sure, actually I'm not sure. This is a Valencia orange, and it's got some fruit on it. I've never had much fruit on it. I always thought it had greening. I mean, it's kind of got that corky stem look, but it doesn't really have the, I'm getting eaten up by mosquitoes out here. One rain and we're already infested, but yeah, I'm not sure. I've seen the psyllids all over this thing, but it's not really necessarily looking like it has greening. Like, these leaves are dropping, but yeah, maybe that is a sign. Who knows? Breadfruit's still alive. It's been really dry, so it's not really happy about that, but it's still chugging. Ross sapote is still going. Yellow Grimmichama coming back with a vengeance. Pruned it back to about, because that's like 1.5 feet. And it started dying back a little more after the pruning, but I can kind of see the shape that we're getting out of it. It's kind of nice, little bowl shape. Cuspidata, Mercier Cuspidata, red, some lemon drop peppers. All the stuff is coming back. This Grimmichama got hit the first, but it's looking all right. Ice cream beans are all coming back. Guava's coming back. You can kind of see where I pruned it up at. It's looking pretty good. It's taken it a while, but now that it's warmed up and we got some rain, it really kicked off. Let's see. What else? This plum tree is going kind of nuts. All the Javos out front are doing fine. Grimmel's doing good. There's the finger lime in the pot. Let's see. Jackfruit came back from the roots. Pretty cool. Yeah, nothing too crazy up front. We're getting our strawberry guavas coming in. Oh, yeah, new stuff back here. We got a Cuban red banana. Planted that there. We've got a double mahoy planted here. The let's see. This is a GM polycephalum that I put in the ground. Is not looking great. It's getting burnt up from the sun, but it'll probably come out of it once it starts raining some more. I mean, it's still green, right? All the leaves dropped off, but who knows? Oh, my dragon fruit. I moved it out here. I don't remember if I did a video on that, but that thing was heavy. I just dragged it out. It took me hours to do. Well, not hours. It took me like an hour. Yeah, that was kind of a pain in the butt. Forever it will stay here. Hopefully it roots into the ground. I have it tied here with some batten tape to these poles. But yeah, this dragon fruit's really good. It's definitely self-fertile. Makes a red skin, red flesh fruit. Tastes kind of like a kiwi and a raspberry. Let's see. These Garcinia is still growing slow as ever. Let's see. This is the Inga Vulpina, one of them. This is the one that I put in the ground before the freeze came and it got knocked back, but it still looks good. So now we're back around over here to the cacao. But let's move over. Oh. So starfruit was completely unprotected over here. And you see where it died back a little bit down below, which I'm not too upset about because now I can kind of get up in here and start doing stuff in the understory. There's definitely a lot you can do with just the dappled light from the starfruit. So I'm thinking of pruning it up here soon and start to mess around with it a bit. I see a passion fruit seedling is growing right there. I got to figure that out before it gets too crazy. But we had a lot of blackberries this year. They did good, but I didn't get to eat but like one of them because the dang animals. But it's been a dry year, so they need it more than I do. Let's see. Here's the Cambuca, and we got some nice peeling bark. There's a little diamondback on there. Yeah, the growth on this is coming out real nice. I'm just looking at it. So here's some new growth here. All this really is hardening off real nice after the rain. I expect this thing to be almost as tall as I am by the end of this year, assuming no horrible weather events happen. It handled it pretty well. I did cover it. It had one layer of frost cloth and then a layer of plastic. It also had a bucket for warmth. Virtually no damage. There was a little bit of burn here from where it touched, but it's overall fine. Let's see, anything crazy going on out here? I don't think there's anything new. I put one of my Campomnesia xanthocarpas in the ground there next to the black sapote. It's the orange guabiroba. It's the common name for it. What else? Here's the Inga Vulpina, other one. Another Ingavira over there. The rain is really, you can kind of see the new growth after the rain there. It's doing pretty good. Yeah, overall, I think that's pretty much it. Nothing super crazy going on. I've been busy trying to keep on top of this stuff, but it's hard when you got a 2-year-old, or almost 2-year-old. You're pretty much always finishing off the last task you started, and there's always another one that pops up, it seems like. But yeah, so I'm going to call it here. It's kind of hot, and we'll just look at this peanut butter fruit, which I also did not protect, but you can see it died back. See how big it was before, died back down to there, but we still got roots. They'll grow back pretty fast. So yeah, anyways, gonna call it here. Take care, y'all.